Terra Classic. We've really come a long way. From the days where we didn't even have validators, and then we got them, we got delegation, and we had this huge hyperinflationary supply or whatever they called it, and we enacted this. Our first proposal was this 1.2% burn tax, and that was really going to get rid of the whole supply or a good portion of it. So really glad we did that. Yeah. But then we found that I don't know, it kind of killed the volume, so that didn't really work out the way we thought. Well, but being the smart cookies that we are, what we did was we decided, well, I'll get together, we'll vote on this, and we'll take it from 1.2% to 0.2%. That way we still get to burn, but the volume will all come back. Yeah, but the volume never really did come back, though, did it? I don't really know. I don't know. But, we were fortunate, though, to have a really good team to do all these things that we needed to do whenever we put a proposal together and it needed to be taken care of. We had the Terra Rebels, and I mean, they were fantastic. Yeah. Wait, they did what? They misappropriated funds. They took money from the community that we thought was going to one thing, and they used it to pay themselves? No, I don't know. I guess, ultimately at the end of the day, it is a community-run project, and, we're decentralized, and we could put proposals up, and we can move this forward just on our own because we are so smart. Like, we put up 10983, and that was going to increase the reward policy rate to a minimum of 0.05, and everybody voted for that, and we got it done. Yeah. Oh, wait, what? Oh, that sucks. Oh, we need to change it. We're going to repeal it with proposal 11111 like a matter of days later. Oh boy. Well, even though the Terra Rebels kind of crapped out on us, the best people in there that the community has loved since the beginning, Ed and Zaradar, we still love them, and fortunately they came together and formed a whole new development team, the L1 task force, and, put a proposal up so that they can get funded, and we all voted for that overwhelmingly, and finally, this thing is going to get going the way it's supposed to get going. yeah, we love them. Oh, yeah, and they, in the proposal, they said that DJ Trev and Strathcole and PFC, they were gonna watch over them and report back to the community and let everybody know what was going on, so that there was some level of oversight. Oh, but yeah, they did kind of appoint their own people, though, huh? And I mean, really, something like that should be open to the whole community. I mean, anybody should be able to apply for that. That's the fair way, and that's not what they did. Well, soon there was an opening in the COC, the Community Oversight Committee, and we're going to do what the community wants. Anybody who wants to volunteer for this position can put their name in, and we'll put them all on this website, and the whole community can vote on them. So that way, just like you want, anybody can apply. Yeah. Oh, you don't like that guy who applied? Oh, what is he doing there? Oh, well, I don't know. Bottom line is, again, we have Ed and we have Zaradar, Tobias Anderson, and they are just top notch. I mean, bottom line is that they're getting things done. They're really good coders, level 1 stuff. They've got everything under control. So regardless of all that other stuff, at least we know that the chain is in good hands. Oh, wait. Edenzi didn't they didn't really take the all nodes threat seriously. They're all nodes threat deniers. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, seems like we're kind of all over the place, aren't we? With this chain. Maybe this whole community-led thing, this decentralization where anybody's free to kind of do whatever they want and put whatever proposals forward they want, maybe it doesn't work quite as well as we hoped it would. Maybe it leaves it open for power grabs and for egos and for FUD and for all sorts of things that you would not find in a system or in an organization that had leadership, a CEO, someone actually in control that said, this is the way things are going to go, right? But, that's not what we have, is it? I think y'all get my point, right? And I know that you don't like to hear that point. I know that it's something that I talk about and you can't stand when I talk about it and you tell me that I'm crazy because decentralization is the way to go. Well, I am hard-pressed to find another chain that is very successful and doing very well or that has ever done really well that has been 100% decentralized and did not have some sort of leadership structure or somebody steering the ship. I can't find it, right? I'm not saying that it's not out there because I don't know everything. But, the ones that are doing really well, they have somebody at the helm, right? Terra Luna did well for a while, got up to $116, $119 per coin. And it had somebody steering the ship, right? Do Kwon. Now we find out whatever we find out about Do Kwon. That's all up in the air and things came crashing down. Maybe he didn't listen, whatever the situation was, but it got there from nothing, right? You have something like, Binance. Look how huge Binance is. Now, that's not a cryptocurrency. It's an exchange, I know. But what I'm saying is you have organizations like that. You can point to anything, right? Tesla, Ford, IBM, Apple, okay? They have somebody at the helm saying which way things are going to go. Now, there are always people that are a little lower making suggestions and trying to figure things out, you know what I mean? And getting the work done. But ultimately, the buck stops at the top. And those companies are very, very successful. Luna Classic right now, Terra Classic, Lunk. We're not doing so good. We have a development team, and they're doing great work as far as everything that they said they were going to do. They're getting it done. They're way ahead of schedule. Good guys who care about the chain and want to move forward. But that's not the hindrance. That's not the problem. The problem isn't for a lack of trying. The problem isn't for a lack of skill and know-how. The problem is ourselves. We're getting in our own way. We're shooting our own foot, right? You've got, as I, kind of showed at the beginning, somebody will say something and it gets the whole community riled up because I'm going to say it like it is. The majority of the community doesn't really understand this stuff. And a large percentage of the community are like sheep, right? Who need to be led or look to be led by certain influencers or whatever, right? And whatever that person says, that's what we're going to go with. That must be the truth. And that's just not how anything in life works at all, ever, right? But right now, you've got somebody who will say, we should do this. And then everybody says, okay, great, let's do that. We're with you. Let's go, right? And then somebody else comes in and throws a bunch of big words around and starts spreading out the, testosterone, as I call it. And they say, whoa, that person must really know what they're talking about. Let's do that, right? And then you got somebody else that comes in and says, that person's an idiot. They don't know what they're talking about because blah, 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 blah. Oh, really? Oh, well, we're with you, right? We're killing ourselves. we're killing ourselves. We put this team in here. This L1 task force. We put them in. We funded them in an overwhelming way, right? Because it was Ed, because it was Zaradar, Frag, all these guys who we knew and we trusted, and the only narrative about them was how trustworthy these guys were, how good they were at their job, how much we appreciated them talking to us all the time and telling us what was going on. We loved that about them. Before there ever was a task force, this community came to love these guys. And you were really hard to find anybody to say anything bad about them, except for the people that, the Terra rebels, some of the Terra rebels, right? When they decided to leave, didn't have the greatest things to say about them, right? And we, call that whatever you want to call that. I know what I call that, but I'll keep that to myself, right? But you didn't hear anything negative about them until now we get on a team and we've got a bunch of people on that team who all want to be heard, all want to be respected, all think maybe that their way is the way, right? And you put all those alphas together, all these guys who have earned their place and are definitely top of, the echelon in their field, right? But you put them all together in a room and it's like a powder keg, okay? But instead of just saying, well, yeah, we can't really work like this because there was a bunch of chiefs and no Indians. Just another point about a leadership, right? We really can't work like this. It's not going to work. So you do what you're going to do. We're going to do what we're going to do. Maybe we can work it out together somehow. No, it's never that, right? Because egos come in. Top dog, right? I'm going to leave destruction in my wake, right? I am going to adopt a scorched earth policy. If I'm leaving, I'm taking everything down with me because they wouldn't listen to me. And now I'm going to tell everybody that they're this, that they're that, or whatever, right? And the person with the loudest bullhorn, right, is the one that gets the most attention a lot of times, okay? Not from everybody, right? Some people read right through that and see what's going on. Nobody was complaining about these guys before all this. Nobody had anything to say about their ability to code or their ability to do anything, really, right? Everybody praised them. Everybody wanted to work with them until certain people found out that they weren't maybe getting the attention that they wanted to get. It's like, here I go dating myself again, but it's like the New Edition syndrome, right? If you remember that group from like the 80s, right? This, even into the 90s, right? This R&B group from Boston. You had Ralph Tresvant was the front man, and he was like the little Michael Jackson, right? This was like the new Jackson 5 of the era. And he was like the little Michael Jackson with his voice, so he was out front. And then you had Bell, Biv, and DeVoe singing back up, and Bobby Brown, right? And egos, right? How come Ralph is getting all the attention and all the action? Because we can all sing and dance too. We're not just, backup guys. We can do, and the group ends up breaking up because egos, right? Everybody wants to get the attention. So now you've got Ralph out on his own. You got Bell Biv DeVoe, and they're making hits. They're doing fine. You got Bobby Brown doing whatever he's doing with Whitney Houston and all the rest of it, right? Everybody went their separate ways and talked shit about each other the whole time. The whole time. It was years before some promoter brought them back together to do a tour, and then they couldn't even really get through it, right? That's the syndrome that we're going through. Everybody wants the attention. Everybody wants to be top dog. And if you're not listening to me, you must be an idiot because I'm right. I don't know. I don't know where it goes, right? For for those of you who are asking, well, why isn't the oversight committee doing something about this? Because it's not our position to do anything about it. We don't have, just like PFC said, we don't have any teeth. I can't come in and say, Strath can't come in and say, listen, you guys knock it off right now. This is what we're going to do. This is the direction we're going in. We don't have that ability. There's a project manager, right? And that's Lunkburn Army. And I don't envy him his job because he's dealing with guys with humongous egos and tremendous ability and knowledge in their field. So how do you really govern that, right? How do you take control of that? It's not easy. He's doing the best he can, but it's not easy. So we're in a situation where people are saying, well, maybe we should get rid of this L1 task force because of this, that, and the other thing, whatever they want to point out, right? As if everybody's perfect or should be perfect, right? And we're going to put this other one in its place. But let me tell you what's going to happen. If that happened, right? And I don't think it will. I don't think the community wants that, but what do I know, right? If that happened, now you've got another L1 development team in place, and there's other people up there, right? And those guys have gone by the wayside. Well, who do you think somebody's not going to come up from underneath again and be like, oh, no, they're doing it all wrong. They suck. They don't know what they're doing. We should do it, right? It's just going to be an unbelievable, endless circle of the same thing over and over again. And every time we, the community, start chasing this other guy who's talking loud and who's saying this and that and the other thing, and oh yeah, oh really, oh did you hear this, right? Every time we start doing that, are we forgetting that we're investors? Has everybody forgotten about Lunk? You don't hear anything about Lunk, about LUNC. All you hear about is these personalities, is this argument, this Twitter space, that, whatever, right? That's all we're hearing about. Is anybody talking about LUNC anymore? Is anybody talking about what we need to do to bring the price up because we're investors and that's what we're here for? That's what I'm here for. I don't know about anybody else, right? What have we accomplished in the last 8 or 9 months? Well, a lot of things have been done, right? A lot of updates to the chain, a lot of foundational stuff needed to be done, absolutely needed to be done, right? But have we made it safe in all this time for L2 developers to come in and start building value and adding utility so that the price goes up? Well, we're just getting to work on that now after all this time. Why? Because we've been going in circles. So we've got a team in there that's been doing it for like a month. You can say this has been going for 8 or 9 months, but really, the real work has been happening over the last month, and then it'll happen going forward if we don't get in our own way, right? But maybe we do. Maybe we do. Let me tell you, I had a bit of a thought, an epiphany, if you will. I remember that people were asking, why does Binance have so much Lunk? Remember when they were amassing it, they were adding on and adding and adding. And, they're at a point now where they have 1.7 trillion LUNC, right? More than everybody else, right? And everybody was asking, why are they doing that? Why do they have all that? Why do they have all that? And people were speculating, well, they're the biggest exchange. They need to have that amount, for, liquidity and this and that and the other thing, right? I mean, that was something to say to, so that you could have an answer. But we don't know that that was the case. And then I had this epiphany. With all this that's been going on lately about talking about voting power and being able to take over the chain and do this and do that, what if Binance took their 1.7 trillion LUNC and delegated it to their own validator? They would have so much voting power that it wouldn't matter what little proposals you put up or who voted for it, yes, no, abstain, whatever. They would control this chain, right? They would control it. They could do it. They have the ability to do it. How come anybody's not talking about that? How come nobody's thought of that, right? What would that actually do for us, actually? Let's think about that, right? Let's think about it. I don't know. In that scenario, a lot of people would be in an uproar. I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would. I'd have to think about it because they're pretty successful. I firmly believe that having some sort of leadership is the way to go. This decentralized thing is not working for us. I don't care what anybody says. You can't show me how it's working for us. I don't know that I'd be upset about that. Just something to think about. I don't know. So, leave comments in the comment section, as you often do. Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm not looking for an echo chamber in my chat section. I want people to disagree with me. I want to have the conversations, right? I appreciate hearing other people's perspectives because sometimes I am a kind of person who will learn from it. Things don't go in one ear and out the other with me. I've changed my mind often because of what somebody said that I didn't think about. So leave comments in the comment section. Let's talk about some of this stuff. And if you could for me, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I'll get back at you with the next rant. Peace.